this club, I'm not defensive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to another day at Chelsea. Welcome to the latest Chelsea news. And of course, we're going to look ahead to tonight's game against Fulham, which kicks off at 7:30 p.m. UK time. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. Make sure you're smashing the like, subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff, guys. We've got a packed show as always. We're going to look ahead to the game against Fulham tonight. Callum McFarlane's final game in charge. Liam Rosenior will be in the stands watching on. We're also going to be talking about how Chelsea have briefed that Champions League qualification is critical for Liam Rosenior this season. Rosenior has also done his first interview since being announced as Chelsea head coach. The standard one they do with the in-house media team at Chelsea. We're going to go through all those quotes and whatnot. So let's wait and see what happens with that and what he does and whatnot, chat. But yeah, let's say hello to a few people and then we'll get this show on the road, people. Good luck to Liam Rosenior. Hopefully he does well at Chelsea. Yep, hopefully he does. We all need him to do well. Yes, big up to you, bro. Hope you're well. After a good Champions League is where we belong. If we can't get that with him, then he goes. Simple. Yeah, not just him, though. Directors need to go as well. Big up to you, brother. Big up. Yes, big up, big up. Hope you're doing well. Let's dive straight into it, chat. Let's get into Rosenior's quotes. Then we'll obviously move on to the Champions League stuff. And then we'll round out, obviously, with the game against Fulham at the Cottage tonight. So, Rosenior has been doing his first interview. He's done his first interview, and the quotes have obviously dropped today. And it's it makes good reading. It makes good reading. There's no doubt about it. You know, he speaks a very good game. You know, he's a very good communicator. I think he speaks from the heart. I think he's genuine in what he says and how he speaks. But it's obviously what every sort of manager is pretty much going to say when they get a job of this caliber. Proud, excited, can't wait to start. It's a lot of hard work in my life to get to this point. But as I've already said to the players, getting to this club is one thing, but I want to win at this amazing football club with these players and the staff. That is what my focus is on. So straight away, day one, no pissing about. He wants to win. He wants to win. And so now we've got to hope that this guy puts winning into action. Put it into action, Liam. That's what we need to see now. It's all very well talking a good game. You know, and that's part of it. Communicating, being transparent in the media, being good with the media, that's part of it. But none of that matters if you can't produce the goods on the pitch, if you're not picking the results up, chat. That's the thing here, right? Is that all these quotes are nice and speaking well is all very good and communicating well is important. And it's all part of being a manager, head coach, whatever you want to call it. But you've got to then translate that to results. I'd rather have a poor communicator, someone who's not particularly good with the media, but someone that is picking up results on a football pitch every single week. Let's hope he can do both. Let's hope he can do both. But if you're only having one, you're having the results on the pitch every single time. So that was his first lot of stuff. You know, look, there's no doubt he speaks well, chat. And then we have his message to the Chelsea fans: believe in what's an amazing football club. Believe in the players, as when you give your energy to your team, you help them win. That's why I'm here. It's why my staff are here. It's why the players are here. We're here to win, and I really, really need the fans to help us achieve that. I can't wait to meet them really soon. I mean, look, the fans will support. The fans will get behind the team. The fans will do what they can. The big question mark is, though, chat, will the ownership do what they can to help this team win, to make this team win? Will the ownership do that? And I don't know if they will. The evidence is suggesting that they won't. The evidence thus far is suggesting, no, these guys will not do that. But look, it's the message to the fans. It's the standard stuff. Of course it is, you know, but fair play to him. He does, look, he speaks very well. Whether you like him or not, and look, I'm not pro this appointment at all, but whether you like him or not, he comes across as a very, very good communicator. There then is other quotes here about more of the style of play that he wants to focus on. I want us to play high-tempo, aggressive front foot football. That's what everyone wants, by the way. Everyone wants high-tempo, aggressive front foot football. I want the fans at home to be off their seat in the first 10 minutes and feel like it's wave after wave. Because when I played against the likes of Essien, Lampard, Drogba, Robin, Cole, you felt when you turned up at Stamford Bridge, it was going to be a really difficult day. I want to create that feeling here. I want us to be intense. I want us to be brave and fearless. And if we do all of those things, we can have a really good time together. Now, of course, that sounds like, music to our ears, music to the fans' ears. We want that high tempo, that aggressive front foot football. However, we all know full well, and I'm sure Liam knows this very well as well, you are not going to get that every single game. It's not going to happen. We're going to put in some horrible performances. We're going to put in some good performances. We're going to win some games. We're going to lose some games. Getting Stamford Bridge back to creating that feeling again, that's massive. That is massive. We have to get that fear factor back at the Bridge. Our home form is woeful this season. And it's not been good for a number of years, the home form. Stamford Bridge 15, 20 years ago was an absolute fortress. I mean, we were over 80 games unbeaten at the Bridge. Now teams are just coming for fun and winning games. So the fans play a part in that, but the style of football plays a part in that as well. The style, the way that he's gonna, he's gonna set the team up, the way the team are gonna play. If you play good football and get the results, you will win fans over. The quickest way to win the fans over, you must produce on the football pitch. So it's all very well saying this, right? But now that needs to be actioned. We need to see this high tempo front foot football. We need to see this on a weekly basis. We need to see the intent, because talk is half of it. The other part of it is obviously the results on the pitch, the more difficult half. Everyone can talk a good game. Most people can come across well in the media. He communicates well. That's one of the reasons why Chelsea liked him, was because he communicated well, because he was a good communicator, because he could deal with the media well. He needs to. Rosenior's probably got a bit more personality definitely than Graham Potter, for example. And he needs to use his communicating ability to win over the fan base and try and buy himself a little bit of time, because he's starting on the back foot, because people don't particularly rate him, because he wasn't a popular appointment, because people feel that he shouldn't be here. He is starting on the back foot. And that's difficult, Those doubts are 100% fair, in my view. But if you put it into his shoes, imagine you're going into a new job and there's people doubting you, and there's people saying, oh, this guy's shit. This guy's not good enough. This guy shouldn't even be here. That's a difficult position to find yourself in. It's a difficult position to find yourself in. So, look, I'll be supporting him because I want him to do well, because we need him to do well, because we want Chelsea to do well. But this talk means nothing if you can't produce. If you cannot produce, this talk means nothing. This talk is cheap at the end of the day. You've got to produce the results. And we've got games every 3 days for the rest of this month. There are eight games left this month. 2-3 games a week for the rest of the month. We're 1 game in 8. 1 win in 8, in the league. This poor form cannot continue. We need to snap out of this form ASAP. We've got semi-finals this month. We've got all sorts coming up. The finisher of the Champions League game, the Champions League phase is concluding. FA Cup run starts. We've got important Premier League games. Fulham tonight. We've got Brentford. We've got Crystal Palace coming up. These are all games that need to be win. These are all games that we have to win. Yes, we're 5th right now, but it's 4 points between 5th and 14th. we don't win the next two, or we drop points tonight and we drop points at Brentford or whatever, we could be in the bottom half of the table. He's got to hit the ground running and get a good start. The worst thing that could happen for Rosenior is when you're not a popular appointment and when the fans aren't fully behind you, the worst thing you can do is get off to a bad start. The worst thing you can do, because then it reinforces people's doubts. It reinforces that viewpoint that, shit, am I good enough? He's obviously got enormous amounts of self-belief, and you have to have a lot of self-belief. You have to, whether you're a player, whether you're a manager, whether he thinks that he's good enough or not. He has to talk himself into believing he is. You have to say to yourself, I am good enough. I am the best manager for this job. I am going to be a success at this job. Because if you're doubting yourself, then you're on a hiding to nothing straight away. You have to believe in yourself. You have to back yourself. And I think he does. I think he does believe in himself. He does have to back himself. You have to have some level of delusion as a top professional in any walk of life. You have to believe that you're the best, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you. No one else is going to believe in you at all. You have to believe in yourself. But I agree. I agree. Look, he's got no choice but to hit the ground running. But 100%. He has to hit the ground running, chat. No doubt about it. No doubt about it whatsoever. So look, Rosenior speaks well. The quotes are good. He says all the right things. We've got to get back to basics. We've got to get back to basics. We've got to get back to doing our thing. And we've got to get back to picking up results. Because 1 win in 8 and being 4 points above 14th place is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, chat. Absolutely unacceptable. So we got to pick these results up. We have to pick these results up. No, of course. No, bro, I'm fully with you. Talk's cheap. I agree. I absolutely agree. Because you can talk a good game, and he's talked the talk here. He has talked the talk. Now he must walk the walk. Because if he doesn't walk the walk, he will get found out very quickly, and he won't be here very long. He has to deliver. He has to deliver. No, I don't agree with people that want him gone before he's even walked in. I don't want him gone. I want him to be a success. But he will be gone if he's not a success. He will be gone at the end of the season, potentially, if he does not deliver Champions League football. He will be gone. The pressure's on him now. He's in a very fortunate position at this stage of his career to have this level of job. He's very fortunate. And so now he needs to go and deliver. He needs to show that he's got this potential and this promise that so many people speak about. I will be supporting him. I want him to do well because I want Chelsea to do well. I do not want to be sat here again, chat, in 6 months' time or 12 months' time, and it's been crap. And we're looking for another manager, and we're appointing another person who isn't inspiring, who isn't really a manager that we want at the club. This, for all of us, this guy needs to work. This needs to work for Chelsea. Because I don't think any of us want to be going through this process yet again in 6 to 12 months' time. We don't want that, chat. We do not want to be going through that process yet again in 6 to 12 months' time. So this has to work. This has to work. And the pressure's on him, and he'll know the pressure's on because already, now because this is from an article from Matt Law yesterday, Chelsea have told Liam Rosenior that qualification for next season's Champions League is quote unquote critical. while the club are also aiming for good runs in the cup competitions. Well, Maresca's done the job in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. He might get us to the final. He might win it. The pressure's on. If you are briefing Champions League football is critical, then this manager must deliver it. This manager must deliver it. Must deliver it. And I'll tell you what, chat. If you're briefing, I presume this is obviously from the club, from the sporting directors. I don't know who it's from. But if you're briefing Champions League qualification is critical and he misses out and he stays, then that's a major problem. If we miss out on Champions League football, it shouldn't just be the manager that goes. It should be those above him that go as well. For once again, having another manager employed by them who couldn't deliver the goods, who couldn't get the job done. Do you get what I'm saying, chat? Do you get what I'm saying? So when you're briefing that Champions League qualification is critical, boy, you need to deliver. You have to deliver. And we've got some favourable-ish fixtures in terms of Champions League, in terms of Premier League football. Fulham, I think we've got Fulham away, Brentford at home, and then we've got Palace away. Those are our 3 fixtures left in the Premier League this month. We've obviously then got an FA Cup tie away at Charlton. I don't agree with that. That's not for me. I want him to do well. I need him to do well. As I said yesterday, I want nothing more than to be proven wrong about Rosenior and for my doubts to be dispelled and for him to be a success. Because above all, the number one thing that I want Chelsea Football Club to be a success. People saying that they want him to fail. People saying that they want him out already. People saying that they, want him to be shit. So to prove a point. That's not being a proper supporter. That's not being a Chelsea fan. Every single Chelsea fan, whether you agree with him, whether you agree with this appointment or not, and not many do, we should all want him to be a success. Because every Chelsea fan should want Chelsea to be successful. And so we need to be winning trophies. We need to be qualifying as a bare minimum every year for the Champions League. But my love for this football club far outweighs my hate for this ownership. If we're successful under this ownership, great, because I want Chelsea to be successful. I'm not one of these people that wants us to be a failure so people can go. I want the football club to be successful. That's the number one thing that matters to me. Football club must be a success. Exactly, brother. Exactly. And that's fair enough. And I agree with you. I didn't want him in the first place. But we want the team to be a success. So Rosenior needs to be a success for us. He needs to be a success. I mean, look, potentially, yeah. Let's wait and see what happens on that front. Let's see how long it takes for maybe a few tensions to rise potentially. I'm not really too sure on that front. But look, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. Score predictions. I'll get into that later. I'll go 2-1. Most important thing, success, 100%. No, it absolutely isn't. We have to be we have to be winning Premier League titles. And at a bare minimum, and I've always maintained this viewpoint, chat. Next season, we must challenge for the Premier League title. No excuses, no if, buts, or maybes. We must challenge for the Premier League title next season. Simple as that. Success is winning trophies. Success is getting us to being back in the Champions League every single season without fail. Success is challenging and trying to win the Premier League title. But right now, the way that the club is set up, it doesn't look like we can even challenge for a Premier League title right now. To be honest, I did not know who Jurgen Klopp was before he came to Liverpool. Fair enough, but Klopp was quite well known. He'd won 2 Bundesliga titles with Dortmund, and he got to a Champions League final with them. Rosenior will definitely do better than Maresca. Let's hope so. Let's hope he does. I know, yeah, of course he has. Of course he has. You know, it's all kind of Ponzi scheme, jobs for the boys. Everyone knows each other. Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. We're not challenging for the Premier League with a current squad. No chance. Absolutely no chance. No chance at all. Guys, there's 160 in the building. There's only 64 likes. Get this up to 100 likes ASAP, people. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. But the remit is clear. Champions League football or bust, basically. Let's see if they stick to their word, chat. With Omega, Penders, Quenda, Sar, Anselmina, no way we challenge for the title. Let's be realistic. Bro, I hear that. I hear that. And that's the tough thing, right? Is that we already know what most of the business is next summer. It's Omega, it's Quenda, Sar and Anselmino return, Penders maybe returns. We're not going to challenge for a title with that. We're not. You need way more. You need more proven quality than that. At the end of the day, you desperately need more proven quality. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Maybe we can. Maybe we can. No, the rumors are absolutely not true about Vinicius Jr. Yeah, and brother, I agree with you. That is the biggest question. There's a lot of questions, but that's one big question. Can he handle the dressing room? Can he handle the ego of working with this caliber of player? Can he deal with that step up? He would never have managed players of this caliber, players of this quality, players perhaps with the ego of top players. He would never have come across that before. Are his man management skills up to it? Are his people skills up to it? That's the big thing. Bro, I agree. Without the squad, without a fully equipped squad, without the required quality in the squad, it doesn't matter whether it's Rosenior, it doesn't matter who the manager is. Because if the sporting directors are controlling the football club, the sporting directors are signing the players, giving them the players, and they don't give him a good enough squad, then it's essentially irrelevant who the manager is. And it's irrelevant, full stop, under this model, who the manager is. Because we're in a situation where now where the head coach at Chelsea is seen as replaceable. It's not seen as important. It's just seen as a one piece in the puzzle that is interchangeable. And the most important people at the football club are the sporting directors, the ones that never answer for anything. And the sporting directors just use the manager as a shield to hide behind their failings. Look, he's done okay in France, but again, yeah, I would have to agree with you that I'm not confident that Omega is going to come and tear it up in the Premier League next year. I just don't think he is. Big up, brother. Hope you're well. Top bins. I fully agree with you, brother. Fully agree with you. And evidence would suggest that won't be the case. They won't back him. I would say that not a single Chelsea manager has been backed properly by the club in terms of giving a squad good enough to compete. Not one of them has been given a squad good enough to compete. And that's the problem. And I agree with you, bro. Because the moment someone does well and asks for more and demands a bit more, that's when the whole thing falls apart. So he might know these guys already. He might have a pre-existing relationship. He might have already worked under the Blue Co umbrella at Strasbourg and knows more than Enzo Maresca did. You know, he knows what he's walking into. But when he's got directors critiquing him, when he's got people trying to influence team selection, when he's got people trying to tell him what players to use and when, then we'll see how he really feels about it. Then we'll see if he just accepts it and puts up with it. We'll see then. It starts off all right, but then the moment you disagree with something, or the moment you want more and you want to strive forward to get this team competing, that's the moment it all falls apart. I agree. I absolutely agree with you, H. Agree with you, brother. A Strasbourg player actually said that was fake news on Twitter in response to that. But Omega has had discipline issues. He has had discipline issues. There's no doubt about it. That's true. Maybe he doesn't need to handle the dressing room because the directors will handle the dressing room for him. You make a good point. Maybe that'll be the case. Chat, we're 20 likes away from 100. Keep smashing that like button, people. I've heard he works well with kids. The majority of our players are young. Look, he's got a good record with young players. Obviously, Strasbourg, the youngest team in Europe's top 5 leagues, and he's done a reasonable job there. He's developed some players well there. But it's very, very different developing players at Strasbourg in Liga, where the pressure's off, where you're out of sight, out of mind, to the circus that is the Premier League, where the spotlight's on you every single moment of every day. It's very difficult to do that. It's a lot harder to get development out of players who are already very good. Can he develop Cole Palmer? Can he develop Esteban? Can he develop, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Garnacho, Gittins, Delap? It's not just about can he develop them, but can he develop them at the same time? Because it's not just one or two that need developing. It's the vast majority of the team that needs developing. And that's a huge task. No, he hasn't, not publicly, but not every player does. Not everyone puts up a post on social media for the manager. It doesn't mean they dislike the manager. It doesn't mean they've fallen out of the manager. They could well thank them in private on WhatsApp or text or whatever. Just because players haven't thanked a manager on Instagram after they've left doesn't mean that they disliked the manager. In some instances, they might, but it doesn't always mean that. Maybe he wasn't used properly. Let's see if Rosenior uses him in a slightly different way. I don't know. Let's see if he's using a different way. Let's see if we go with that 3-man midfield more often. Let's see if he plays him on the right and he drifts in, and let's see if that maybe works any better. But the proof will be in the pudding. Only time will tell whether Rosenior can get a tune out of these players, whether he can get the best out of them. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But one thing's for sure, you can't fault how he speaks, but he now needs to deliver on the pitch. What would he do with this team? How would he change this team? But yeah, of course, and it's just lazy recruitment though. Just because Barco's done all right in Liga, let's see how he continues to develop. This is a guy who's going to be a left back but couldn't defend very well, so he was moved into midfield. He's done a decent job there, but if Valentin Barco was to be the midfield signing next summer, it would be majorly underwhelming, and it's not moving the squad forward. Bro, they say they want to win, right? And that's fine. But I agree with you, brother. Their actions don't match up with their words. Their actions aren't of a club who want to win, who want to compete, who want to be challenging at the top end of the table. Do you know what I'm saying? No, There's definitely been some issues discipline wise with Omega, without doubt, 100% there have been. Yep, KB, it's nail on the head. Nail on the head. We don't have enough quality in the squad. There's depth there. There's more there. There's depth, and there's obviously what do you call it? There's depth and more options. We've got more options than we did last season. However, we've got less quality. We've got less quality in our options. Well, they shouldn't do, because the reason he's come in is because he plays in a similar way to Renzo Maresca. That's the whole point, is that this is, in the club's eyes, should be a fairly smooth transition, because it's not a deep tactical overhaul. It's a very similar system, a few tweaks here and there, but it's a way of playing that the club want to play, and they employ managers who play that way. It's going to be heavily possession-based, like Maresca's was. The style of football is not going to be very different. He might play a slightly different formation, 3-4-1-2 potentially, but it's not going to be very different to what Maresca was doing. Yeah, brother, you would think so. You would think so. You would imagine so. You would absolutely imagine that to be the case. Yeah, I've got no doubt about it, chat. You would absolutely imagine that to be the case. Oh, I'm going to get down to the bottom, chat. There's so much stuff coming in. Oh God, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go to the bottom of the chat. Yes, big up to you, brother. Yeah, we'll be there. We will be there. Fulham away tonight at the Cottage. We're there. Right, I'm scrolling to the bottom, chat. It's not that different, though. It's not that different. It really isn't, chat. It really isn't that different. I promise you. That's why it's been employed, so it's a bit more of a seamless transition. Because there's no point bringing a manager in partway through the season who plays a totally different way, and it's a complete tactical overhaul that nobody's ready for. You know, that's not what we need, and that's not the way it's going to be. That's not the way it's going to be, chat. Exactly that. You know, you can be a relatively inexperienced manager, but if you've got a top-class squad, it doesn't half help you out. It doesn't half cover up maybe some of your deficiencies, some of the rawness of being a young coach. But this is my issue, chat, with the model, is that you can't have it both ways. You can't have a young, raw, inexperienced squad and then have a young, raw, inexperienced manager on the sideline as well. You can't have players who are learning on the job at the highest level, and you can't have a manager who's doing exactly the same thing. For me, it's one or the other. You either have the experienced manager with a squad like we've got right now, or you have an experienced squad with a lesser manager, and you is that straight behind me? I don't think it is. And you yes, you have an experienced manager, sorry, with a kind of squad that we've got now, and that helps out. I don't think you can do it both ways. I don't think you can have young and experienced on the bench, young and experienced on the pitch, and then just inexperienced and not good enough in the sporting director roles. Brother, we don't have enough to be second. This squad is nowhere near good enough to be second. This squad is a 4th/5th place squad. Absolute maximum that this squad could achieve is third. Absolute maximum we could achieve with this squad is third place. This team's not good enough to be second. No chance. I can't see it. I don't. We're not coming. Not this season. We're not coming third. We're not overturning 12 points on Aston Villa. We're not overturning 12 points on Villa. No way, in my opinion. The best we'll finish this season is fourth, but I think we'll be fourth or fifth, and then we go again next summer. Yes, big up, brother. Do you not think our players should have experience? Yeah, look, bro, the squad's good enough to finish fourth or fifth. 100% it is. It's definitely good enough to be fourth or fifth. It's not good enough for anything longer than that. No, and top bins, you're absolutely spot on. And that's the sad thing, really. That's kind of the sad reality. Chat, we're nearly 200 in the building. There's only 93 likes. Smash that like button. It's free and it takes seconds to do. And make sure you're smashing the subscribe button whilst you're at it as well. We need to get over 100 likes. It should be 150 likes, bare minimum, chat. Bare minimum for this stream. So smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. All of that good stuff. Run it up, run it up. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's how far we've fallen. Fourth would be a great achievement this season. Yeah, bro, Maresca did a brilliant job. So not only has Rosenior got to maintain our good record against the big sides, he needs to improve on it if he can. And he needs to also find a way of picking up results against the lesser teams, which we struggled with. Honestly believe if Delap, Gittins were slightly better, Esteban on... bro, that's all ifs, buts, and maybes. And ultimately, what that comes down to is that we lack quality and we should have signed better players. That's essentially what you're saying. By saying if Delap and Gittins were slightly better, then we'd be doing better. So basically what we're saying here, what you're saying there is that we needed to sign better players. Well, I won't be giving my address away, but yeah, I live reasonably close, within sort of 20, 25 minutes. But yeah, obviously not going to give out my address. Bro, the fourth would be a good achievement in the league this season. Now, I know that's how far we've fallen. It's mental. It's absolutely mental, but that is the situation. I know that sounds pretty terrible. I can't lie. Yeah, Palmer. Yeah, of course. Palmer missing most of the first half of the season has definitely played a role. Levi Colwell missing the whole season has played a role. Not getting another defender back has played a role. I don't know. What is the derby in Sweden? What is it? Malmo against what? Elfsborg? Is it Elfsborg? Malmo against Elfsborg? Is it Helsingborg? Is Helsingborg a Swedish team? What's the derby in Sweden? Malmo, is it Elfsborg AIK versus Djurgården? What's the other derbies? Malmo's Swedish team, isn't it? Is Malmo and is Elfsborg? Is it Elfsborg? I swear that's a team as well. Maybe I've just completely made that up. Who's the best team in Sweden, though? Who's the best team in Sweden? I swear it's Malmo. Or did Djurgårdens win the Swedish title last season? Oh, I don't fucking know. Yeah, but that's not. Unfortunately, those cups aren't gonna get us Champions League. Those cups aren't going to get us Champions League, though. That's the thing. So Carabao gets you Conference League if you win that, and a FA Cup gets you the Europa. The only way we're getting Champions League football for a cup is by winning it, and we're not winning it. Malmo are the best and richest. Fair. 100%, bro. 100%. You know, let's reassess where we are at the end of the month. Let's reassess where we're at the end of the month and go from there, because it's going to be important. It is going to be important. You know, this is a massive month. Villa have a better manager who has been there for a long time. Villa doesn't have a better squad. I think Villa do have a better squad because they've got more quality in terms of the depth options, in terms of their ability to rotate as well. Look what they bought off the bench against us. They bought on Watkins, Sancho, and Onana. That's very good options. Both. We're not in great form, and we don't have the right quality across the team. So both things are true. But ultimately, it comes down to a lack of quality. Well, yeah, but we've got let's just get through the first leg first. Yeah, Emery's also a manager. He also has a big say. You know, it has a big say. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, look, Rosenior is in now. He's in the stands tonight. Personally, I felt that he should have been in charge for this game. I understand it would have been a bit of a quick turnaround. I get that. But I feel he should have been in charge for this one, because Man City was a free hit. You know, Man City was a free hit, essentially. There was no expectation on that game whatsoever. It was kind of a free hit. Tonight is not a free hit. It's anything but a free hit, this game tonight. And we need to play like a team tonight that has a coach watching from the stand. Players should be playing like they've got a point to prove. Tonight's must win. Tonight is a must-win football match. No ifs, buts, maybes. No excuses whatsoever. This is must win. It can't be any clearer. It cannot be any clearer. No, he's not. He's watching from the stands. He'll be in the stands. McFarlane will be leading the team tonight. What does a good form Chelsea team look like then? Good form Chelsea team. It's some consistency. A team that's able to put a run of form together. A team that can, you know, win 6, 7, 8 games in a row. You know, right now, we're not looking like a team capable of winning 3 games in a row in the league. This will be a difficult task. Fulham aren't amazing, but they're also quite good. They're not terrible either. Hopefully not. Again, it depends on the circumstances, but yeah, it depends on the circumstances. But yeah, it will be tough. It will be tough. Make no mistake about it. It will be a difficult one. It'll be a difficult one for us, chat. Fulham have got some players missing through the AFCON. No, I don't think so. But I don't know for certain. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, bro, and I said that very thing outside the Etihad after the game on Sunday, is that we've seen numerous times that Chelsea, with the backs against the wall, where we're in a difficult situation, we put in a performance and get a result. But that result and that performance at the Etihad on Sunday means absolutely nothing, chat, if we then don't go and win tonight. We have to win tonight, and we have to keep that level of consistency. We have to keep that level of consistency, chat. No, they do. And Fulham are not bad at home, by the way. I mean, it would be a very Chelsea thing to do. I agree. It wouldn't be a surprise to any of us. It wouldn't be a surprise to any of us. But we got to hope for the best, chap. Why is he watching from the stands? Because his first game in charge is against Charlton, and so he'll be watching from the stands tonight. That's literally it. There's nothing more to it. Agreed, bro. That's the number one thing. We need to start beating teams that are worse than us. That's what we've got to start doing. Yeah, I think Caicedo's definitely back. Cucurella, Fofana, Sanchez, it's not been 100% confirmed. They did train yesterday, so I presume they should be back. I mean, I don't know for certain, but I presume they should be back. It's very difficult to tell. I really don't know. I really don't know. But what else is going on? But look, it'll be interesting to see what we go with, because I don't think the lineup in the first half worked very well against Fulham. Against City. I know we limited them to not a lot, and we only went in 1-0 down, but we offered nothing on the ball. From an attacking perspective, we offered absolutely nothing. Second half of the system switch, we were a lot better, and with better quality, we could have absolutely won that game. No two ways about it. With some better quality, we could have won that game. But we say that all the time. We say that all the time. With some more quality, we could have won. It's boring saying that. But the setup worked well. And it makes sense to go with a similar setup to what we finished that game with against Man City. That's what makes sense. Whether we'll do that or not, I've got no idea whatsoever. But it would make sense to do that. Hopefully not, brother. Hopefully not. Bro, we need to win tonight. It's not about Callum must win. It's not about McFarlane. It's about Chelsea needing to win this game of football. We must win this match tonight. No ifs, buts, maybes. It's not about McFarlane. It's about the wider context of the season. This is a must win today. This is must win. Fulham weren't unbeaten because we won at the Cottage last season 2-1. Big up to you for the super chat, bro. No expectation. I lost hope with these owners. Fair enough. I hear it. I hear it. Yeah, bro. I don't want that either. I definitely don't want that either. Yeah, it does, brother. It does, and that's unacceptable. Yeah, well, unfortunately, bro, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen for us. So, yeah, I don't really know what else we can do about that, what we can say about that. But yeah, that's not happening, unfortunately. That one is not happening. But, you know, a draw is no good tonight. A draw is absolutely no use to us whatsoever. No use to us whatsoever. We could go he might go 4-2-3-1. He might go, 4-2-3-1 can easily be a 4-3-3. It's all much of a likeness, chap. All much of a likeness. But yeah, we gotta do something important. But yeah, we got to fix up though. We have to fix up. 1 win in 8. The performances have not been good for quite a while now. New managers in. There should be a determination to prove a point, to improve. What do you think about us performing well against it? No, it's not a sign that we're good. It's a sign that we get up for the big games and we're not really up for the other games. That's what it shows. It also shows that we can't really play very well against sides that sit deep and don't come out and attack. You know, that's ultimately what it shows. James, if we better not play. If he was to play if Rosenior was to play a 3-4-1-2, James would not be playing right wing back. It would be Gusto. Because James would play as a right. I think James would play as a right centre back in a 3. That's what it would be. You could maybe have Fofana, James, and Colwell or something. Reece would play right centre back in a back 3 if we played a 3-4-1-2. Yeah, I think they'll be looking to take advantage, absolutely. But we once again should be playing with a point to prove. You're playing under a new man. You're playing for a new manager now. You've got to kind of prove yourself to a new manager all over again, as it were. Chat, we're 30 likes away from 150. Smash the like button. We're still 200 in the building. Run it up, run it up. Rosenior, I want us to play. Yep, no, absolutely. And it's all very well saying that. But now we need to see it. We need to see it actioned. We need to see it implemented. And that's what we need to see, chat. That is exactly what we need to see. Are we going? No, I don't think so, Tim. I don't think we're getting anyone this window. January is expected to be very, very quiet for Chelsea. Very, very quiet. There's not expected to be any movement whatsoever. Not expected to be any movement at all, which is a shame. I think it's a big, big missed opportunity. Probably 4th or 5th, because City, Liverpool, and Arsenal have got better squads than us. And so, yeah, it's probably 4th or 5th base squad. You could maybe argue that Villa's is better potentially. It's at best, it's the 4th best squad. The news is that they trained yesterday and they should be available, but there's not been a 100% confirmation that these guys are definitely available. We haven't had that. We haven't had that. Zombie, big up to you, brother. Yes, exactly that. Smash the likes and subscribe. You lot know what to do. Chat, let's get into a team. Let's get into a team then for tonight. Callum McFarlane's final game in charge. Let's get into a team for tonight. Maybe this lineup builder on FootMob is better. Yeah, chat, this could be better. Yeah, I reckon this is better on FootMob. Anyway, right, let's get it. Let's get this lineup up. Right, we're cooking. Can we all see that all right? That's looking good. No, he didn't do anything wrong last game, but he's not the number 1 goalkeeper. So if Sanchez is available, he goes straight back in. So this is purely based on these players being back fit. Obviously, Sanchez goes back in. If he's not fit, then right back for me is James. If he's not fit, then obviously it'll be Jorgensen. Right back, Reece James. Providing Fofana's fit, you stick Wesley Fofana back into that back line. alongside Chalobah. And you then have Cucurella at left back, providing he's fit. If Cucurella is not fit, I would probably start Jarell Hatto. I thought Hatto looked reasonable when he came on. So if Cucurella is not fit, I would personally start Jarell Hatto. I think that would be decent. Now, midfield for me, the first one is obvious. It's Moises Caicedo straight back into the team. Now, for me, after that cameo in the second half, I think we looked a lot better in the three-man midfield. I want us to play the three-man midfield. I think particularly away from home, I think it's going to be a lot better for us. You could make a case for Josh, but look, James at right back, Cuckoo left back. I think that's what it has to be, providing they're all fit. Santos has got to go in there for me. After that second half performance, the way that the team looked, how the team tactically looked better balanced, I think that's what we need to go with. So I will be going with the Santos and Caicedo pivot. I think you've got to go with that. Look, Reece James has done very well in midfield this season. Absolutely no denying that. No doubt about it at all. But what we need to do is we need to see him at right back, because Santos and those lot and then Enzo will play in the 10, or it could be a number 8 in a 4-3-3. It's the same thing in it. Enzo will play 8/10 in the advanced midfield role. I think that suits him well. He's great at arriving in the box, right place, right time. And I agree with you, Kieran. Like, Palmer in the 10 has shown a few glimpses, but it hasn't looked very good this season. We got to be brutally honest about this. It hasn't looked particularly good this season, Cole Palmer in the 10. So I think we need to switch something up and try something different. So I've Fernandez in the 10. I'm going to play Cole Palmer right side. Pedro Neto has been awful in the last few weeks. He's been absolutely awful. James overlapping Palmer would be sensational down that right-hand side. I think it would be great. I think it would be really good. James to overlap Palmer down the right. And then on the left, I agree with you, Sean. I would put Esteban on the left, because Neto's been poor. I'm not really vibing Garnacho. I think Steve, for me, I'll be starting Steve on the left. And I felt Steve was a bit hard done by at City, because I don't think he had a particularly bad game. He was pretty much doing wing-back shift on that right side, right wing-back, to help combat the threat of O'Reilly. He was pretty much doing up right wing-back shift. And that wasn't good for him. So I want to see Steve start. And Steve can do a good job down that left-hand side. Neto needs to be benched because his form is not good. His form has been terrible. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, Neto's finishing in general is not very good. We have to be straight up about that. Neto's finishing in general is poor. Really poor. There's no point hiding from that fact. Whatsoever. Neto's finishing in general is shocking, chap. Do we? I don't know if we do. I've got no problem saying it, but KDH has outperformed Palmer this... Yeah, KDH has outperformed Palmer this season. And it's another bit of evidence of appalling work from SD, especially with left wing and 10 options. Yeah, I agree, bro. I absolutely agree. You know, there's no pressure on Palmer in that 10, because their number 10 signing was Facundo Buonanotte on loan, who doesn't even make squads. So I don't get it. Yeah, bro, there were so many games in that, so many times, in that game against City where we were 4v4 on the attack. It gets to Neto and he just kills it, takes all the sting out of it, recycles it, and in a moment's gone. Neto's been good this season, right, to an extent, but his form in the last few weeks has been awful, and he shouldn't be starting, in my opinion. I think we know that he'll start tonight. By the way, this is the team that I would pick if I was the manager. I think we all know that Neto is more than likely starting. I think we know that. I think we have to be honest about that. It'll be Delap for me. It's a no for Garnacho from me. And then Liam Delap. I've not been a huge fan of Liam Delap. I think Delap's been poor this season. He's been obviously affected by injuries, but that cameo, despite starting a fight and getting booked, Delap actually looks promising in that cameo. He looks promising. He looks promising, and we need to see a bit more of that. It'll be great for him to get his first Premier League goal tonight. He hasn't scored for us this season. Well, in the league, sorry. He scored in the Champions League, 1 goal against Barcelona. He got 1 goal at the Club World Cup. He's not scored very many goals for us. So this is a team that I go with. And obviously on Saturday night, you use the Charlton game as an opportunity to rotate to a certain extent. You use the Charlton game as an opportunity to rotate. Chat, we're 20 likes away from 150. Keep smashing that like button. Let's get the likes up to 150. Get them up to 150, chat. Really, really important. Really, really important. So run it up. Run it up. Yeah, he did to a certain extent. He did. He does have more cards than goals. Agreed. But that is the team that I would go with. I'll be honest, I'm getting annoyed with Pedro. Joao Pedro is not contributing. His touch is poor. His hold-up play is poor. He doesn't seem to be offering anything. He does not seem to be offering anything. And it's annoying. It's really, really annoying. Really annoying. You know, he's got that sort of trampoline touch. You know, I don't know why he's suddenly got such a bad touch. Why things are suddenly going so wrong for him at the moment. But he's annoying me. Pedro is not showing the form from the Club World Cup. He's still given a reasonable contribution, chat, this season. He has still given a reasonable contribution, but yeah, I'm just getting annoyed with him. I am getting annoyed with him. There's no other way of saying it. I am getting annoyed with him. He needs to do better. He needs to show more. Bro, I said it in the summer. Pedro is not a better 9 than Nicholas Jackson. And I stand by that. I stand by that. You know, there's a reason why, you know, he scored 10 Premier League goals last season with 5 of them penalties. He's got promise. He's got something about him, but he's not a bagsman. He's not a proper number 9. And we essentially signed him to be a 9. And that is a big problem. Big problem, chat. But we'll wait and see. But that's the team that I go with. That's the team that I think would give us the best chance of winning. Yeah, bro, 100% we need better. 100% we need better. Everybody knows that we need better. I don't think anyone's under any sort of illusion that we don't need better. We desperately need better. Everyone knows that, but everyone also knows that we probably aren't going to get better. Everybody also knows that. You know, we have to do better, chat. We must do better. But we know we're probably not going to do better. And that's the disappointing thing. No, look, Maresca wasn't perfect by any stretch. Like there were obviously things that he got wrong, things that he wasn't particularly good at. And I'll be getting behind the new manager and I'll be supporting him and I'll be wanting him to do well. Because as we said earlier, if he does well, Chelsea do well. And that's what we all want. That's what we all want. But that's the team that I would go with. That's the team that I believe gives us the best opportunity to win tonight. And now it's about turning up and it's about putting a performance in. I mean, yes, but that chance is gone now. He's signed for Porto on a free transfer. And we would never make that kind of signing under this ownership anymore. So that's where we are. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you know. But would he have the bollocks to do that in front of Chelsea players? I don't know. I don't really know. But that's the team that I go with. That's the team that I hope to see. I also agree with that. Said it many times. I do agree with that. You would expect so, given how well Santos did under Rosenior at Strasbourg last season, but it doesn't necessarily mean the same will happen at Chelsea. Doesn't necessarily mean the same will happen at Chelsea. It really doesn't. Yeah, Maresca did a brilliant job at Chelsea. He did a brilliant job. Was he perfect? No. But he did do a really good job. But that's the team that I go with, chat. That is the team that I would go with. And I think it's a decent team. I think it's a decent team, guys. Chat, we're still 15 likes away from 150. What are we playing at here? Run it up. Run it up. It's free and it takes seconds to do. Liam will be at the stadium later. I will be there. I will be there. We will be at the cottage and we will be cheering the boys on and hoping for a big 3 points. Hoping for a big 3 points. Big 3 points. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a big derby. I think it's a bigger derby for Fulham than it is for us. It's just nice to not... No, bro, the Sassy won't be back, no. Yes, bro, I had Esteval starting on the left and Palmer on the right. I had Esteval on the left, Palmer on the right. I think there's a couple of things that just come through. Let me just find it now. Let me just find it now, chat. Where's it gone? Just 2 seconds, chat. Right. Let me bring this up. Investors will nonetheless want reassurance the Blueco deal is going to deliver returns and not undermine the overall fund. Typically, private equity firms work on a 5 to 7 year time frame for investments before finding an exit. Oh, no, not that. No, not that. Fucking hell. The feeling in financial circles is the behind the scenes investors in club owners Blueco will want a bit of assurance that everything is still on track. Yeah, these people are going to want, they're going to want their money. They're going to want a return on investment. And the quickest way to get a return on investment is by winning. So I'm not sure why they don't seem that fussed about winning. I don't see why. I don't know why they don't appear to be that fussed by it. But hey, maybe they are. Maybe they think that this is the way to win. But yeah, it could well all come to a head at some point, chat. You know, if investors aren't happy, if they're not getting the return on investment that they thought. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not a good position to be in, chat. It is not a good position to be in. I mean, look, we don't even Mudryk right now. We can't even think about him. No idea when there's going to be when there's going to be a return to action for him. We don't know. We just don't know. We don't know at all. Well, look, at the moment, Mudryk, we're just waiting right now. We're waiting to see what happens. But there's no point thinking about Mudryk in any plans right now, just like there's no point thinking about Lavia in any plans because he can't stay fit. So, yeah, look, the Mudryk situation, we just have to wait. There's nothing else we can do. It's purely just a waiting game. I don't know when there's going to be... I don't know when there's going to be an outcome on it. I genuinely have no idea. I agree, brother. I agree. I absolutely agree on that point. Club World Cup absolutely did boost the Chelsea brand, but we still don't have a shirt sponsor. We still don't have a shirt sponsor. And I don't know why. Honestly, I could not answer that question as to why we don't have a shirt sponsor. I've got no idea. Absolutely no idea. But that's unacceptable. So yeah, look, 5 to 7 years. We're coming up to 4 years now. The ownership will be 4 years in what, May? Within 4 years since they took over. Anything about Mudryk potentially coming back is all purely speculation. It's all purely speculation. Anything about Mudryk coming back. I'll be honest. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Cucurella left this summer. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He's 27. They either offer him a new deal or they sell him, because that's generally what it's been like under this ownership. You get to the last 2 years of your contract, and then you're either sold or you renew. Those are the two options there. Those are the two options. Two things. I think that is the problem. Too much money, and they'll want a sponsor tied down to like a 5 or 6 year contract, and sponsors just don't do that. They just don't do that. So I think that there's maybe a couple of reasons as to why that's the case. No, Fabrizio didn't say that he signed. It wasn't a new contract. The length was the same. It was improved terms. So essentially, it was just a pay rise. It's just a pay rise. It wasn't. It was improved terms, not increase of contract length. Yeah, no, it does, but that's not getting us. That we're missing out on so much revenue by not having a front of shirt. So we're missing out on 50 or 60 million pounds a season by not having it. You know, I agree. Palmer's not been good. He hasn't been good recently, and he needs to fix up. And he shouldn't just be an automatic starter in this team. He should also need to earn his place in the side. I fully agree on that. Fully agree on that point of view. Fully agree on it. It is poor that we've not got one. I mean, look, from a fan perspective, like in terms of buying the shirt or whatever, I'm not really that arsed. But from a business point of view and a club point of view, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. We need to bring in a better backup in Palmer's position. 100% we do. We do need to sign, in my view, another number 10. Someone who can challenge Palmer, can put pressure on Palmer. That's what we should be doing, chat. That is what we should be doing. But we haven't right now. Yeah, of course. I'll be there. 17th of Jan. 17th of Jan, we will be there. 100% we're there. %. What else is happening here, chat? What else is happening here? What else is going on here? We need squad depth. It's not about depth. We have got depth. We just don't have the quality in the depth. So we need improved quality, chat. We need improved quality. That's the big thing we need. If I'm being brutally honest, I think he lasts 12 months. Yeah, 12 months, in my opinion, he lasts. Which I know is not really a glowing endorsement, is it? But I think he lasts 12 months. No, he's not seeing the 6 years out. We all know that. Yeah, look, if we don't get Champions League football or don't start showing we can compete for Premier League titles and the biggest trophies, then yeah, I think Palmer will leave the football club. I've got. I'm not saying he. I think at some point he'll go, but I think there will be a big sale this summer. I think there will be a big sale this summer. I really do. Whether it's Enzo, Cucurella, Lavia potentially, there'll be a big sale this summer, or Fofana maybe. I don't know, but I think there's going to be a big sale this summer. I don't know who it's going to be, but I've got a feeling there could well be a big sale, chat. There could well be a big sale. Could be a huge sale. We wait and see. Yeah, the big sale could be Neto. It could be. I don't think so. No idea. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure, to be honest. No, I wouldn't sell Palmer, no. But again, it's going to be another big summer of overhaul. Another big summer of upheaval, chat. Yeah, look, if we can't win, if we're not showing we're challenging for the major trophies, then he will go. Absolutely, because we've got ambition to be the best and to win the biggest prizes. And if we can't do that at Chelsea, then he will look to go and do that somewhere else. These players aren't just going to give up the prime years of their careers hoping that some sort of false promise they were presented when they signed the club is going to suddenly come true. They're just not going to do that. They're just not going to do that, chat. They will refuse to do that. They will refuse to do that. At some point, I think so, yeah. No, I don't think they will. I think people, if the bigger players start leaving, I think people will understand why. No, don't regret selling Havertz, because Havertz was not great for Chelsea. He wasn't good for Chelsea. Yeah, Cucurella to Barcelona is potentially a possibility. Yeah, I agree. I fully agree on that. But yeah, look, it could be a big summer, chat. It could be a big summer. No doubt about it. It could be another major summer. Could be another major summer. Palmer, I mean, bro, Palmer back at City with Maresca would be mad. But that can't even be ruled out, you know. That can't even be ruled out. That's the funny thing here. That can't be ruled out. But yeah, look, that's a long way off right now, chat. There's no point thinking about that. The most immediate thought is on tonight, and the most immediate thought is Rosenior getting off to a good start. That's the most important thing right now. I'm not thinking about other teams, other players who may or may not be here. Focus right now is on the pitch. Oh. Yeah, Delat won. Oh, what, Rosenior? No, Rosenior's not won anything. No, Rosenior hasn't won anything. He hasn't, no. That is correct. He hasn't won anything. How sad how we are talking about big players leaving Chelsea. Yeah, bro, I agree. My score prediction for tonight is a 2-1 Chelsea win. That is my prediction. Guys, last thing, get your score predictions in the chat. Get your score predictions in the chat quickly. I don't know. No, it wasn't. It was actually my alarm going off. But yeah, chat, get your score predictions in. I'm going for a 2-1. I want to hear what you lot are saying. 3-1, 2-1. Keep them coming in, chat. Keep them coming in. Don't underestimate the attraction of Chelsea for players. No, I agree to a certain extent. I do agree. 1-1 again. 3-1 Chelsea. 2-0. Keep them coming, people. Keep them coming. We've got a 2-0 Chelsea, 2-1 loss for the Chelsea, 3-1. It does seem that we're turning into that, and that needs to stop. 2-1 Chelsea, 2-2. 3 points, fair. I respect it. Right, chat. I am going to round this one out, and I need to get myself ready. I need to head down to the cottage. So, people, big love for the support on the show, as always, guys. Greatly appreciated. Big yourselves up. Big up to the chat. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday afternoon/evening, guys. Enjoy the game wherever you're watching it. If you're going to the game, enjoy it. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out, guys. We are 3 likes shy of 150. So smash that like button on the way out. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Thanks for the support as always. Big show. I'll be back again tomorrow with match reaction dropping in the morning. Make sure you stay tuned for that. So enjoy the game wherever you're watching it. Smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. And I will catch you lot again tomorrow. Up the Chelsea, and I'm out. Love.